Imagine spending 8 years chasing the stock market, thinking you had it all figured out, only to discover you were completely wrong. What if the key to getting rich wasn't about predicting which stock will go up tomorrow, but understanding something far simpler that most people completely miss? Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, says he only started to build real wealth when he realized this one powerful truth. Are you making the same mistake he did at 11 years old? And what did he learn at 19 that changed everything? Warren Buffett, who is now one of the best investors of all time, didn't always have such a winning attitude. In fact, the way he invested early on was based on bad ideas, which is something that many investors still do. He changed not because of a sudden inspiration, but because he understood a simple but important truth about investment. This is how Buffett got rich, not by guessing how much stocks would go up or down, but by changing the way he looked at things. Buffett began his journey when he was only 11 years old. He was interested in the idea of picking stocks at the time. He, like a lot of young buyers, saw the stock market as a game where you have to guess how prices will move. He was deeply interested in technical analysis and tracked stocks all the time. His Bibles were books by Edwards and Magee, like Technical Analysis of Stock Trends. A lot of people think that if you can find the right patterns, you can figure out what will happen next. He studied these patterns for hours because he was sure that understanding the market meant understanding the lines on a chart. The idea that this was true kept Buffett going for 8 years. It was important to him to be able to guess what a stock would do next, like whether it would go up or down tomorrow, next week, or next month. After that, something changed. Ben Graham's The Intelligent Investor was the first book that Warren Buffett read when he was 19 or 20 years old. Not only did this book teach him a new skill, it also completely changed the way he thought about spending. No longer a gambler, he became an owner. Buffett says, "It doesn't matter to me what happens tomorrow or next week if I buy a good business at a fair price." Buffett was different from most investors because he thought about the long term. Most people who watch stock tickers want prices to go up, but Buffett wants them to go down because that means he can buy more of a good business for less money. One thing that Buffett says that makes people feel better is that you don't need to be smart to be good at business. He says, "I think you need 120 IQ points. But 170 isn't better than 120. It could get worse." To put it another way, having the right attitude is more important than being smart when it comes to spending. A lot of people have the wrong one. They see stocks as tickets to the draw, not as claims on money that will be made in the future. Buffett was successful because he paid attention to principles instead of predictions. Buffett did not just learn the right approach, he stuck to it wholeheartedly. He put all of his money into a stock called Cities Service Preferred when he was 11 years old. After that, he always had at least 80% of his money in American companies. Other investors spread their money around, follow trends, and get scared when the market goes down. But Buffett stuck to his guns. He didn't spread his money out over a lot of different types of assets. He spent a lot of money on things he knew about, like American businesses. Although Buffett has a lot of money, he lives a simple life. He has one house. He doesn't want 5. He says, "Having 5 homes doesn't mean anything to me." "Because I only want one home," she said. It's interesting that Buffett thinks big about investments, but small about how he lives his life. Why? His idea of happiness is investing in great businesses, which is what he does for fun. He doesn't need fancy boats or big houses. The game itself makes him happy. What makes him believe in America? Buffett is always positive about the United States. Why? As long as the data backs it up. He has seen a lot of progress in his career. Even the poorest Americans today have access to healthcare and conveniences that John D. Rockefeller, who was the richest man in his time, could only dream of. Buffett has lived through wars, recessions, pandemics, and a lot of trouble in the government. Still, the long-term trend has always been upward. 3 times into my life, he says, half of 1% of the world's people had nothing. We now have more than 20% of all the money. For him, that's the power of free market capitalism. That's why he's always put his money into American companies. Buffett doesn't believe in capitalism that isn't controlled. He thinks that capitalism works best with the government as a judge. The government controls the system and makes sure it works. Still, Buffett sees chance in that system, not for greed, but for making a difference. The money that tech companies like Apple and Google make isn't locked up in vaults. It has grown into work, progress, iPhones, and services. Why most people miss it? Trump says it's sad that most people don't get the point. They keep treating the stock market like a gamble, hoping to win quickly and being afraid of every drop. How to think like an owner. If you can think like Buffett, you can get the most out of buying. It's not about being smart. It has to do with waiting. You need to know that the thing you're getting is a part of a business that, if run well, will grow and make money over time. You don't have to be smarter than Wall Street. You only need to know what Warren Buffett did. Investing isn't about guessing what will happen, it's about having it. Finally, here are some thoughts on the Buffett formula. Buffett's plan for getting rich. Don't think like a seller, think like an owner. Don't try to guess how prices will change. Instead, focus on the long-term value of the business. You don't need to be smart, you just need to be disciplined and have the right mental model. Don't buy stocks, buy businesses instead. Treat them like private companies that you want to keep for life. Don't pay attention to the market noise. Downturns are good times to buy. Put your money into America, the history backs this up. Don't try to get rich. Being rich is a bonus, not the point. Trust capitalism, but back good government. If you want to make money, buy index funds. Let America work for you. There is one thing that Buffett learned that made him rich. Stocks are not raffle tickets. They are companies. You start to think like a business owner, and everything changes. If you found this insight valuable and want more timeless lessons from the world's greatest investors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a strategy that could transform your financial future.